Hello everyone, I'm here to discuss episode 8 of season 2 of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun and how it compares to the manga. So this episode covers chapters 46, 47, and 48, which is the Picture Perfect arc part 6, 7, and 8. So let's go ahead and jump right on into this episode that I felt was decently focused for Kou and Mitsuba for a good reason. So it starts off following Tsukasa being aware of how to escape number 4's boundary, which is to kill Amane and Mitsuba. She thinks back to Mei's rules and she thinks about the dagger that she was previously attempted to be handed, and shout out to the little matching scenes from manga to anime, that was amazing. She begins to wonder if Tsukasa and Mei are working together, and as she begins to think about why Tsukasa would want revenge, she remembers that Hanako had a younger brother that he killed, and that maybe Tsukasa is actually out for revenge and plans on using Nene as the means or secondary means of a weapon. There were a little bit of edits to this whole interaction, such as the little keyframe being cut when she remembers or has the flashback of Hanako talking about killing Tsukasa, and there was also the small scene cut when Tsukasa is attempting to go into the classroom to see what she's up to in there, which kind of comes across as him trying to peep on her, which ended up getting cut out, which is kind of sad because Nene kind of has a look on her face that shows that she's worried, which kind of gives a whole different feeling to the mood that she's in. So from right here, everything seems to play out pretty well following the manga, including the whole telescope scenes, including the point where Tsukasa runs along and attempts to be helpful. And just like the manga, we see that everybody is okay considering that they were sliced up earlier. We have Aoi reappearing, and after sharing some cookies together, Nene begins to wonder, where is Kou and where is Mitsuba? Of course, she's worried that Kou might be doing the unthinkable. She shakes her head and she encourages herself and tells herself to think for the best. It's here where Nene spots the lone telescope and she climbs the ladder. But it's here where the differences can be very subtle, and if you're like me and you look at the minor details, this is pretty important, and I felt like we needed these details to be kept in order to keep the scene feeling as magical as it felt in the manga. In the manga, her dress is flowing out as she's climbing the ladder, which gives us a feeling of environment. It feels alive and it gives us a feeling of movement. And there are moments throughout this whole little interaction where we can see the wind and we can see her dress and hair kind of flowing, which gives us this kind of dreamy, ethereal-like feel to everything. Whereas in the anime, the whole interaction just sort of felt stiff and it felt plastered there. They definitely could have added some more flair to it, at least in my opinion. Instead, they just kind of plastered the images there and it just didn't feel as magical and as amazing as it felt in the manga. And they definitely could have given us more than that weak little breeze at the very end of that interaction. But as she grabs his face and pulls him down and looks at him and says, "Let's run away together to the real world," I really liked the animation that they did, mostly because I loved how they added the reflection of shooting stars in Hanako's eyes. I just really liked that for some reason. I thought that was really pretty. Now, here's where we can finally start looking at getting a deeper look into Kou and Mitsuba's relationship. As the two of them are supposed to be looking at shooting stars, they sort of get into an argument about everything. Kou tells him that they talk to number 4 or Mei, and the only way to get out is to basically kill him and Amane. And he reveals that, well, Mitsuba obviously already knew all of that, and they get into a big old fight about it. And Mitsuba reveals, "It's because I want to be human. I want to be a real person. I want to be a human being." Mitsuba reveals to Kou that he's able to use his abilities now as number 3, and he can look into mirrors and see everything from everywhere, including his past life. And he basically is saying that he hates himself, like he hates his old self and he's jealous of his old self. And he wants to be human, and the only way to do that is to be inside the painting. And of course, the only one offering to do that for him is Tsukasa. Though it was a little sad to see how they edited out a little bit of Kou's airheadedness. Anyway, Kou becomes very upset that Mitsuba so eagerly goes along with whatever it is that Tsukasa says and or asks of him. And Mitsuba reveals, well, he's got nobody else to go to for his wish to be a human being. And Kou seems to have this hero-like complex and wants to save everybody. And Mitsuba tells him, well, you only care about this other Mitsuba. You don't care about me. You care about this other person. After getting a small brief injury to his cheek from the cracked glass, Mitsuba offers to start over. Let's try to be friends again. Let's start over brand new. But Kou rejects this fake world and rejects this fake happiness, and also sees that Mitsuba is trembling as well, meaning he's kind of not okay with this either. Mitsuba ends up feeling a little rejected, feeling like it's because he's a fake. But he asks Kou, well, didn't you have fun in this world? And he is shown reminiscing. Mitsuba is reminiscing and showing that he felt happy being able to spend time with Kou and all of these people. And Kou agrees. He's like, yes, it would be amazing if you were still alive, and that would make me very, very happy. And in the manga, Kou is shown reminiscing, like, yes, like when we spent that time together, I was extremely happy to be with you. But in the anime, for some reason, we're just shown the background of a pool, which definitely takes away from how the two friends feel about each other and the fact that they got to spend time together as friends, being alive in the same world again. And like I mentioned before, Kou has this hero-like complex, and he promises Mitsuba, I'll make your wish come true in the real world. I'll figure out a way to make you human again. They end up getting into another little scuffle, and they argue again. And Mitsuba reveals, like, well, I get jealous on that side. I wish everybody was dead because, well, I'm dead and they can't be like me, and so, So as Kou suggests that, he can die and they can be together forever, they go ahead and jump off the roof together, which Mitsuba ends up saving Kou, and the two boys end up realizing that maybe the two of them are a lot closer than they originally thought, as Kou reveals that he only wanted to do this because he thought that maybe dying and becoming a spirit would help him better understand Mitsuba's feelings. This episode gave us a very good look into how Kou and Mitsuba's relationship begins to develop from here on out, as Kou wishes to better understand Mitsuba on a deeper level, and Mitsuba just wants somebody who he can call a friend and be close with. As Mitsuba begins to reveal a deeper side of himself, and he actually allows himself to be vulnerable with Kou and tells him his problems and his worries. And like I said, Kou has a very hero-like complex. And I won't spoil anything, but it is mentioned later on in the manga that he does have a hero complex. And he is moved and touched by this, of course, and he does care very deeply for Mitsuba, so much so that he's willing to die to prove his friendship and loyalty to Mitsuba. So overall, I think episode 8 was pretty good this time, keeping things flowing with the manga, developing relationships between characters, even though animation just feels very stiff compared to its manga counterpart. We have now set the pace for episode 9, which they've titled Make It Secret, which covers, I believe, chapters 49 and 50, which should be covering Picture Perfect 9 and 10, which will then end the Picture Perfect titled arc, and then we will enter the home stretch for this arc. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope to see you all back next week. Bye bye.